Hello, I'm in here now. I was gonna be out there, but there's a big old tarp over the entertaining area, and also I don't like talking outside. It alerts the neighbors of my existence. So, instead, I am in this downstairs area, here to talk to you about the third vlog. This is the third one I've done. Now, first of all, I'm skipping Monday, Sunday, and Tuesday because that was just video editing. We're going straight to... Alright, Wednesday I was back into making some of these big old... what do you call them? The transition tracks. I was trying to do something that was based a little bit off of Kitty Craft's Beats and Breaks from the Flower Patch, classic 90s sample-based indie record. I quite like it, and I wanted to replicate that sound myself. So I pulled out, this like jungle drum sample and played some guitar over it, and it is fine. It sounds I don't know, I don't love the guitar sounds on it. I'm gonna fiddle with them a bit after this, I think. And also, really boring progression, but it's what came to me in the moment. I don't know if I'll keep this one. Anyway, I also finally got around to recording the guitar, and it was a mess. All 5 parts kind of that I recorded were all pretty shoddy, so gonna have to do a lot of comping soon. Love comping. Everyone loves comping. Yay! So Thursday, that's where we are. We're at Thursday, and I got to making another transition track, and it did not go well. In response to what I did on Wednesday, I decided to make a more complicated progression. The problem is that I made a really boring progression. It's very 50s, and I don't like the harmonic language of that era, really. I tried desperately to write a melody for it, but nothing I was coming up with was beyond like heart and soul. I'm showing my biases here, but yeah, I was not a fan of it. It was supposed to be somewhat based off this track. I'm not sure if you can see that, but this track up here, which I didn't have enough time to really develop anything like that in 10 seconds. That's something that requires a lot more space, I think, which I did not have. Friday, since my attempt at writing like a linear progression I didn't like, I'm going back to my 2-chord vamps, my wonderful 2-chord vamps here. I've got to write something in 5/8, and it's going to be a bit jazzy. All right, so you got the piano down, you got the guitar, you got all of this, and I like this one a lot better. I think that even though the harmony is quite simple, there's enough color to it with like the chord extensions and the arrangements that it sounds really nice. There's some things I want to change up a little bit. Like I don't love this kind of crossover to the bass on the piano. Maybe I can fix out EQ. Maybe I can figure out something else to do there. But that's this song. It is Saturday. I was supposed to go to a band rehearsal today, and then the Caboolture line was closed, and the trains took so long, so we ended up bailing. But that meant I could get home, and I could finally comp all these guitars together. Now, Is the timing perfect? No, it's still very bad, but I feel like once I add the bass, once I add the organ, once I add the trumpet and the vocals, we might be in a territory that's less painful than it is currently. But this is an awfully nice progression, I think. I like this progression a lot. But that sparks the question: how do you write progressions? I get that whenever I talk about my music with people, they're always like, "Oh, but I don't know any theory. I don't know how to really write progression. I just do it by ear." Which, mind you, this song was all done by ear. But if you want to use theory, I've got tips for you. So, chord progressions. How do you do them? A lot of people ask this. They start off with a chord that they like. It's probably not that one, but we're starting off with it, and they ask like, well, I have this chord, how do I make it into a progression, right? What's the next chord I play? That's a bad question to ask, okay? Because, that's like stepping outside and being like, okay, how do I get there? Well, where's there? You need to define where you're heading. You need to know your destination before you can know how you depart, right? So instead of being like, okay, what's the next chord? It's what's the chord I want to get to? So let's say F sharp. So moving those back, that's obviously not a progression, but how do we make that into a progression? Well, we find a way to resolve to that F sharp major. So how do we do that? We could go up to the 5th of the F sharp, right? And then build a major chord off of that. That is a 5-1 resolution. That's also known as the perfect cadence. You probably heard that before. So let's try that, right? It's a little bit jumpy. It doesn't sound very fluid, because this is a really large departure, right? This is a departure by a tritone. This is, in fact, how the most distant chords can be. A great way to link chords that are part by a tritone is something called a tritone resolution. Tritone substitution. A tritone resolution is when you take the kind of, when you take a diminished chord like this. In this case, it's the 7 diminished of G major, and you take that root and that diminished 5th. You move the diminished 5th down, and you move the root up, so you go, right? So that's that 7-1 resolution. But you can actually pull them apart the other way, right? So instead of having, you have, right? And then we add another note to make that chord. And where are we? We are at that D flat major. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and suddenly this sounds like it's resolved. We're at a new one. That's one way to view it. And that's the start of a regression. Now you just need to get back here somehow, and I'll leave that up to you. Hey, just coming in with some ADR. I don't think I made my point very clear in that original clip. Essentially, just learn your cadences. Learn how chords either go away or come back, right? Like C to F. That's the 1 to 4 in major. That is a departure. 4 to 1, F to C. That is a return, a resolution, right? And you know what? That was the week. I think this is a shorter one. I haven't edited it down, so maybe it's not a shorter one, but it feels like a shorter one. In spirit, it's a shorter one, regardless of what the little thing down there says. I hope you enjoyed it. There's no dog here, so I can't give you that. There's a dog toy here. Look at this. This is from my sister. There's actually like 3 of them. They're still here. I don't know why she didn't take them. Anyway.